Deep Six Wrestling fans. It is I, your reigning, defending, undisputed Deep Six World Heavyweight Champion, the Glorious Robbie Rotten, finally back on top of the mountain after about a year, so it feels really good. And with that being said, I'm going to start making some more content, as the champion should. And since now is time for the New Japan Cup, leading up to New Japan Dominion on July 15th, I believe it is, I'm going to do my predictions for the rest of the tournament. I actually missed the first, the left side of the bracket, the first two nights. I watched and caught up, and I liked what I saw. It's my first encounter with New Japan Pro Wrestling, so I'm going to do the rest of the tournament. I'm going to predict it, and just saying I don't really have much prior knowledge, because obviously I've never really watched it before, but I know who some of the people are, obviously, and I've seen some of the people wrestle now, so I'm going to go off of that. I'm going to do my best with the names, but we're going to see what's going to happen, you know? So let's give it a shot. We're going to start with the right side, since that has not taken place for the first round yet. And I'm going to go from there. So first off, we have Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Taichi. And I'm going to go with Tanahashi. He is one of the biggest stars in New Japan history. And I'm just going to go with him. Why not? Can't go wrong with him. Next up, we have Kota Ibushi versus Zack Sabre Jr. Both of these guys I'm familiar with. They both were in the first Cruiserweight Classic. There was only one, but you know, the Cruiserweight Classic, and both guys were pretty good. I'm going to go with Kota Ibushi to win and set up that match between Tanahashi and Kota in round 2. And then the next matchup is Ryosuke Taguchi versus Sanada. And I'm going to go with Sanada to pick up the win here. I saw him in a tag match night 2, and he looked pretty good, so why not? I did a little bit of research also. I'm not just completely blind, so there's a little bit of a method. Next up, we have Sho versus Shingo Takagi, and I'm going to go with Shingo. It's going to be Sanada and Shingo in the next round, so yeah. Next up, Hiroshi Tenzan versus just Pat's favorite, Yoshihashi. He cannot gush more about this guy. He loves him. Everything Yoshihashi does, Pat is into. He loves the man. But I have Tenzan going over Yoshihashi. So, there's that. Next up is Yo versus Bushi. And I have Yo going over. I don't know. I just figured Yo and Sho are a tag team. I don't think they're both going to lose. I figure maybe one will get through. So, Yo's going over Bushi in this one. Satoshi Kojima versus Evil. Again, I apologize. I've never heard of half of these people before, so, you know. Evil, I have him going over. He's got a cool look. I saw him in a tag match as well. So we'll see. Yeah, I think he's going to make it through the first round here. Then it's Kuruki Goto versus Yojiro Takahashi. There's 2 Takahashis. Must be a pretty common last name there, I guess. I have Goto going over. He pinned, I don't remember who he pinned in the tag match. But he saw him win a tag match. It seems he's won the tournament before. I think he's going to go some way into the tournament. So I got him. And that is it for round 1. So I'm going to move back over to the left bracket and back to the second round of the left bracket. We have Togi Makabe versus Tomohiro Ishii, and Ishii had a really good showing in round 1. I think he's going to continue. He's going to advance to the third round, I believe. I don't know, quarterfinals. I don't know. Then we have Toru Yano versus Hiromu Takahashi. I liked Takahashi's performance a lot in round 1 against Hanma. That was the first match I really, really enjoyed and thought was a great match. So, I'm going to go with Takahashi. Toru Yano's match was terrible, but I don't know if I blame that on him. I don't know. It wasn't good. But Takahashi I have him going pretty far. So, yeah, he's going to win this one. Then we have the biggest star in New Japan, because let me see if I can pronounce this correctly. Kazuchika Okada. Obviously, Okada, everybody knows that name, but, you know, I'm not the best at pronunciation sometimes. Versus Yuji Nagata, who had the best match of the first round against Minoru Suzuki. And Okada's going to win. He's, you know, the biggest star in New Japan for a reason. And he's going to win this match and move on to the next round. And then finally, for this side, we have Yoshinobu Kanemaru versus Taiji Ishimura. And I have Kanemaru coming out. I thought he did pretty good in the first round, too. I think this one was pretty much a toss-up for me, but I picked Kanemaru. And then we're going to move over to the right side. For the next round, we have Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Kota Ibushi. This is another toss-up. Both guys are huge stars, but I think Tanahashi just gets the nod here. I don't know. I don't know why. Something about it. I don't think he's going to win the whole thing, but I think he's going to go far. And then next we have Sonata versus Shingo. And I have Sonata taking the win in this match. I think Sonata's going to go far too. More on that later. Then we have Hiroshi Tenzan versus Yo, and Tenzan's going to win. Next up, Evil versus Kuroki Goto. And this was a really tough one as well. I think both guys are pretty big stars. But I had Goto winning. And then for the left side, the next round, which is just Okada versus Kanemaru. And I have Okada winning again. I think Okada, you know, speaks for himself. He's the biggest star they have. So, and then Hiromu Takahashi versus Tomohiro Ishii. I went back and forth, but I went with Takahashi. This is Takahashi's first time in the tournament, but I think he's destined for big things. I think he's got a great look. He's got a lot of charisma, and he's really good in the ring. So yeah, I'd like to see him go to. I guess this would be the semifinals against Okada. The right side is your Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Sonata. And I have Sonata winning that one. Like I said, I think he's going to go far. And I don't think Tanahashi needs it. He is one of the biggest stars in the company's history. So he doesn't need it. And then we have Tenzan versus Hiroki Goto, who I have Goto winning again. So the semifinals are set. It is Takahashi versus Okada on the left side, and Sonata versus Goto on the right side. I have Okada picking up the win over Takahashi on the left side and going to the finals to face Sonata from the right side after he picks up the win against Goto. And the final is Okada versus Sonata, which is actually a rematch from last year's final in which Okada won and went on to face Jay White and actually win the title. Though I have Sonata winning this year, I don't think he'll be successful in beating Naito, but I think it'll give him a big rub. So yeah, I have Sonata winning. I think Pat said he picked him as well. I kind of went off that partially because he knows what he's talking about, but I also did my research a little bit, especially seeing Sonata made it to the finals last year and came up just short. Seems fitting for this year. So yeah, Sonata is my winner. I have no idea what I'm talking about for the most part, but I did a little bit of research and I watched a little bit of it. So yeah, let's see how I do. We'll see. Thanks for watching.
I'm feeling like a star, you can't stop my shine. I'm loving Cloud City, my head's in the sky. I'm solo, I'm Han Solo, I'm Han Solo, I'm Han Solo, solo.